Yeah, guys, as you can see, I'm at work, but I'm upstairs. I'm trying to figure out if I want to get some homework done or not. Because I don't know, y'all. But I think what I'm gonna do, since I'm still trying to study for the Security Plus, I'm gonna just look up some of the questions that I got wrong and just review in each section so I can take the test. So I can probably take the test. I don't have no time to take this test today. So tomorrow I definitely got time. I don't got time tomorrow either. I gotta make time. Hey, Franklin. I gotta make time. Ooh, excuse me. Franklin, you in class? Okay. Well, as you can see, you know where we are, and everybody's downstairs, so. Do you think it's my hair or the product to why I can't? Like, I feel like my braids be looking crisp, but I don't know if it's the product or my hair that be making it look stink. I feel like it's a mix of both. Dang, y'all. I gotta run this shit up. If I want 100 followers, I need to actually go out there and start telling people. I really want to stream during Juice Wars. I just don't. Like, I'm just gonna need at least 5 portable chargers backup, no doubt. Hmm? I know I look for them and charge them, and then I feel like I can make it happen. Reviews logs from company's main database.
you want some?
Yeah,
You told me you didn't want any.
I know.
And I took long as fuck to drink it too.
I know.
I'm like, maybe she gonna say she wants some. Nope.
Yeah. Security review. The IT team notices that some suspicious activities have been logged. Unknown user attempt to access the system with a strange pattern, requesting particular user files instead of using URL structures. The profile suggests request. Which of the following hardening techniques can help protect a system or device from attacks by installing software like fireware or antivirus directly on the user's devices to report and block potential attacks? What the heck? Installation of endpoint protection. Okay. Which of the hardening techniques can protect systems or devices from attacks by installing software like firewall or antivirus device or report and block? Oh, Nico passed his. That's cool. Which of the following best describes a threat actor who primarily depends on commonly found tools? Dang, that means they take that test like at 8 a.m.?
Probably.
Which of the following best describes a threat actor who primarily depends on a commonly found tool, often easily accessible from the web or dark web? Script Kitty describes who primarily depends on a commonly found. Which group is most likely to possess the funding and resources to recruit top talent, including skilled strategists, designers, coders, and hackers? A criminal syndicate. What itinerary? Her computer look beat the fuck down, y'all. That shit looks beat. But she still worked. That's all that matter, right? Period. Which group is most likely to possess the funding and resources to recruit top talent, including skilled designers and coders and others? Criminal syndicate. Which of the following motivations refers to an act of stealing information from a system or network? Data exfiltration. A tech company discovers that firmware is somewhere on the way contain a hidden backdoor upon investigation. The lazy eye that I have in this is crazy. I just have to make sure my eyes are still moving. I'm sorry, I got scared.
And we aren't renting a car.
Hmm?
We aren't renting a car.
I thought you already knew that.
This is the last conversation we had.
Girl, you said it was expensive, so I was like, yeah.
Check the price you did.
And I was telling you the pricing. You said it sounds like a hard pass. That's why I forgot about it. I was like, okay. The tech company discovers that firmware and some of the devices contain a hidden backdoor. Upon investigation, it determined that compromised firmware caused an overseas supplier they contracted with. The backdoor gave attackers remote access to devices without user knowledge. What type of attack vector has the company fallen victim to? Supply chain. Which of the following hardware issues that result from products are no longer being made or supported, but are still usable? End life vulnerability. Hardware issues that result from products that are no longer being made or supported, but are still usable. Okay, end of life vulnerability. Which mitigation technique involves shutting off specific entry and exit points in a system to prevent potential vulnerabilities or unauthorized access? Disabling ports. Which of the following vulnerabilities best describes a situation where a threat can manipulate data after it has been verified by an application, but before the application uses it for a specific operation? Bless you. Which of the following vulnerabilities best describes a situation where a threat actor can manipulate data after it has been verified by an application, but before the application uses it for a specific operation? Time a check. Travid is elevating an attack that has occurred on his organization system. He sees that the attacker entered a lot. He sees that the attacker entered a lot of data into the area of memory in the API that temporarily stores users. What type of attack did Travid discover? He sees the attacker entered a lot of data into the area of memory in the API that temporarily stores user input. Buffer overload is the attack that Travid discovered. Which technique involves the use of tools like Nigos or Splunk to continuously observe and check the operation systems of a network? Monitoring. Which of the following techniques can help protect the device from unauthorized network traffic solely by using software that can control network traffic based on predefined rules and policies? Host-based firewall. Which of the following can helps protect a device from unauthorized network traffic solely by using software that can control network based on predefined rules and policies? Host-based firewall. Which of the following threats is most likely to accidentally cause harm to the system? Shadow IT. Which of the following vulnerabilities is unique to the cloud computing environments, posing risk related to unauthorized access and data manipulation? Insecure interfaces and APIs. Is unique to cloud computing environments, posing risk related to unauthorized access and data manipulation. Which of the following ports, if left open and unmonitored, might allow database queries from unauthorized external sources? Port 1433. Which method accurately demonstrates authentication process used in a WPA2 personal mode? Using a passphrase to generate a pairwise mask key, which abbreviates to PMK. Pairwise master key is a method that accurately demonstrates the authentication process and used in WPA2 personal mode. During network investigations, Aiden, an cybersecurity analyst, identifies two irregularities. The CEO, who tends to work late, logged in from both Paris and Tokyo. Within 5 minutes, there's an unexpected surge in emails from the HR department outside the recruitment season. Which of the following should the analyst be most concerned about based on these observations? The simultaneous. What the hell is this word? Simultaneous. Paris, I'm asking you because I can't. I'm asking, what's the word? Simultaneous.
Yeah, simultaneous.
Whatever, y'all. CEO logins from distant locations. And that was all for threat, vulnerabilities, and mitigations. Now we're going to go to security, program management, and oversight. Which of the following? Zero. Which of the following terms refer to a critical predictive metric that organizations monitor to foresee potential risk and impact on operations? Key risk indicators is the following term that refers to critical predictive metrics that organizations monitor to foresee potential risk and their impact on operations. The executive team at a software development firm decides that any project with potential financial greater impact than $500,000 due to security incidents will require an immediate review and intervention. This financial impact represents which of the following risk managements? A risk threshold. Which of the following terms refer to specific laws and regulations set by a country's government that indicate how the personal data of its citizens should be collected, stored, and processed? National legal implications. Which of the following best describes the software development life cycle in application security? It emphasizes the integration of security in software creation and maintenance. Training is considered a collaboration with new IT service vendors. To ensure compliance and adherence to industry standards, training wishes to see verifiable evaluations of the vendor's security controls and practices. Which of the following will provide training with insights into the vendor's own internal evaluations of their security measures? Evidence of internal audits. Which of the following best describes an organization structure that allows for autonomous decisions making in separate departments of sectors within the community? Decentralized governments. Scripture describes organizational structures that allow autonomous decisions making in separate departments or sectors. Okay. If a company's server has eliminated a SLE, single loss expectancy, of $15,000 due to the operational failure, an annual rate of occurrence, which of these failures is expected to be 0.1 times per year? What is the annual loss expectancy? $1,500. And basically, you got to calculate that by multiplying the SLE by the ARO with SLE of $15,000. So basically, you want to multiply 15 times 0.1, which equals 1,500. This represents the expectancy yearly finance due to operational failures. 150 isn't correct. So it's 1,500. What term refers to an organization predetermined level of acceptable risk exposure? Risk tolerance. When considering user interactions with a web service, which of the following are the security measures that involve the security creation and transfer of identifiers as well as enforcing inactivity limits to prevent unauthorized access? Session management. Session management are security measures that involve security creation and transfers of identifiers as well as enforcing inactivity limits to prevent unauthorized access. Session management. In a meeting with the CEO, Burton has asked for guidance on developing the rules of engagement for an upcoming penetration test. The CEO doesn't think that they need to create rules of engagement since they are hiring an experienced, respected company to do the penetration testing. Why is it important for the company to still establish rules of engagement? They need to set boundaries and limitations during the penetration test. Set boundaries and limitations. At Kelly's Innovations, Susan has been trusted with determining the purposes and means of processing personal data from the organization's new marketing campaign. She decides what data to collect, how long it will retain and whom it will be shared with? Which of the following best describes the role Susan is playing? A data controller. Y'all saw something burning? Florence is the CEO of a company. She has the final say over all decisions made regarding business, IT, accounting, and other departments. What type of governance does Florence company have? Centralized governance. Because she has a say-so of everything. But decentralized governments basically is, what did I say, decentralized government? I figured it out. Because there's two sides. You got one side over here, the next side, but they all want the same thing. Which of the following terms best describes the affirmation of a validation of the accuracy and thoroughness of compliance-related reports? Adaptations. An investment firm flows a fluctuation up to 10% in the value of its high-risk investments portfolio compared to the expected run on the investment, but immediate action is required. If this threshold is exceeded, this is 10% of fluctuation represents an example of risk tolerance. The 10% fluctuation is an example of risk tolerance, which specifics the risk tolerance. Which is acceptable variance in high risk portfolio performance by triggering action. Let me read the question over. Investment firm allows fluctuation up to 10% value of its high risk investment portfolio compared to expected return on the investment, but immediate action if this is required, if this threshold is exceeded. Did you write it down? The thing. With the IT department, Sarah has been designated to oversee the security measures for the new data management platform. She's accountable for regular reviews of security protocols and responding to any breaches or vulnerabilities that may rise. Sarah's role would be best described by which of the following terms? As risk owner. Sarah amplifies a risk owner as she is tasked with ongoing management and mitigations of risk pertaining to data management platforms. Horizon Security. A security training company experienced a data breach due to the vendor's negligence.
It's okay, girl.
Yo, this is why it's good to always read, y'all. Because the way I couldn't pronounce that, mind you, I used to make fun of kids who couldn't pronounce when they used to have to read in class. I used to make fun of them because I'd be like, how the fuck you ain't know this word? Now look at me. Look at me. That is my karma. I'm eating it up right now at my adult age.
Yeah, girl, I think a lot of stuff you're going through is just full circle and it's funny.
What you mean? Yeah, I've been trying to figure out why people keep walking over there. Like, they just, I don't know. This breach led to a significant loss of sensitive customer information. What type of consequence is the Horizon most likely to face? Reputational damage. Training is conducting a security awareness training program for its employees to enhance their cybersecurity knowledge. As part of this program, they have planned and executed phishing campaigns, which are the best describes the primary objective of phishing campaigns conducted during security awareness: to test employees' ability to recognize and report phishing attempts. What is the purpose of a security analyst doing due diligence in the vendor selection process? To ensure that vendors' practices align with the organization's requirements. Damn, y'all, I got 3 more to go.
You got that.
Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna take a break right now because I'm done. So, catch y'all on the flip side. Take care.